Elon Musk has put his back pay up for a vote. A shareholder vote will decide his fate, perhaps, if the court doesn't come around on appeal. And if you really hate Elon and really want to stick it to the investors, you should support his back pay compensation, because that's just the way to stick it to the man. Joining me today to discuss this is Randy Kirk from the Randy Kirk channel. Who is he? What's he doing? We don't know, but we'll find out. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So, Randy, you've heard...
I'm confused, man. Very confused.
Yeah. Well, no. Hey, look, he's a terrible guy. We got to really stick it to him. Did you know that he doesn't pay enough taxes?
He doesn't pay enough taxes. I thought he paid the most taxes of any human being ever in a single year.
Yeah, world record holder. Guinness has yet to crown him with that amazing result. But that pay package, that tax day will look like nothing compared to a future tax day. Hey, look, if you hate the guy, give him his back pay, and he will break the world record set by one, let me check, himself, just a few years ago. If he gets paid 30, 40, 50, 60 billion dollars, he's going to give about half of that back in taxes right out of the gate. He'll have no choice.
Yes, there is that. So that would be a hateful thing to do. Make him pay all those taxes. I get it. Okay.
Do you want the government to have money to operate or not? He will be giving back more money in taxes than his companies have received in benefits over their entire lifetime. It would probably pay back all the money that SpaceX has received to pay for launches, to pay for services. The people, SpaceX is subsidized. No, it's not. It's the lowest bidder.
That's true.
That's like saying
the only bidder.
Yeah. Well, that's like saying the guy who picks up trash at the park for the Parks and Rec department, well, he's just subsidized by the city. No, he's not. He's paid by the city to do a job. So if you hate the guy, you want to stick it to him.
Do you think that Elizabeth Warren will end up voting for the package because of that reason?
No, I think Elizabeth Warren doesn't have shares.
Oh, no.
No, yeah.
Maybe she'll buy shares just so she can vote her shares so she can get more taxes out of Elon.
Elizabeth Warren is pretty cynical at times. She loves to rail against billionaires, so she'll put up a link to fundraising and then pay to promote it on Facebook. So I'm not sure what message I'm supposed to learn from that important business decision. But it is a business decision. Politics is a business of its own. Let's
true.
not get into that too much. But, all this money, it's $56 billion. So first of all, it's not. You have to use today's share price. It's probably 42 today or 38.
Are you saying that people would somehow distort the number by using the share price when it was higher than it is today?
No, I'm saying people are so dumb that they don't know what the compensation plan is or how it works. And then at the time the article was written, it was 56 billion, but that was weeks ago, and it is no longer 56 billion, and they don't understand that. They think it's dollars that somebody is giving to Elon. It's not. It's shares printed from thin air, minted fresh with spearmint, I assume, because it's all magic, right? And then and the fact is, accounting, you do have to account for it on the books. They did that years ago. It's already accounted for. Yes, but if we cancel it, then Tesla could reclaim, they'd refile their quarterlies going back years to bump it up. Yeah, we'll get to that. That money is coming from essentially shareholders in the form of dilution.
Right.
You know who's worse than Elon? Tesla shareholders. They are Randy, I can only speak for myself and you. We are the worst. If you want to stick it to me, support the pay package. Support Elon's back pay, because I'm the one who's going to have to pay for it. Randy, you will have to pay for it. How do you feel about that? I feel attacked.
Well, dilution, right? Horrible. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I think the people who don't want him to get this believe in homeopathy, where dilution is powerful. and important and has many health benefits. Wait, a part per million didn't work? Try a part per billion. That should do the trick. So we're the ones paying for it. If you're sick of me, water down my shares with the back pay. Well, so we touched on this a little bit. You know, the company cannot afford it. It's too much money.
Yeah, way too much.
Right? Way too much.
Mean, it's ridiculous. They haven't even made that much money yet.
Right. So again, it's not 30 or 50 or any billions of dollars. It's paper. And Elon isn't being given shares. Elon is being permitted to purchase shares at a price from the past.
Oh.
He still has to purchase them. He still has to take billions of real dollars and give them to Tesla. Do you know what that would do to their free cash flow for the quarter? It would increase it. It would make that pile of operating capital available larger. Now, I don't know if you remember your alligators from elementary school math, but greater than is what you're looking for here. Tesla would result in having greater than cash. So I think that's something that can't be overstated.
I can never remember which way to put those.
The alligator mouth points at the bigger number, Randy.
The bigger number.
The bigger number. So the company can't afford it. No, they would get probably $6 billion, $5 billion in new capital. But
nice.
Yeah, stick it to them. Stick it to them. It doesn't make sense. These are not logical people. Then, of course, you've got, well, this, he's a part-time CEO. Am I really going to pay for that?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't spend 100% of his waking hours working on Tesla.
But he did when the milestones were achieved. And not 100% of his waking hours, but well in excess of 40 hours. It was probably 10, 12 hours a day with a couple meetings on the side for other things. That's why SpaceX has Gwen Shotwell to actually run the place. Elon is the visionary director, if you will, the ideas man. He does understand the engineering, and I know there are engineers who say that he doesn't, but those are engineers who have not met him, who have not been able to ask him hard questions on the spot, only to discover he has an answer because he knows what's going on.
I did an analysis one time just on his stock earnings over the years since he was 24 or whatever it was he started that first company. I did the analysis, and over that period of time, having nothing to do with getting paid a dollar by anybody by the hour, was making something like $1 million an hour or $1 million a minute. I can't remember. The number was so high that it was incomprehensible. And that was what he was creating in value. And everybody else that was along with him for the ride was making the same amount of money based on their percentage of ownership. So, I think possibly it doesn't really matter how many hours he works. I would be concerned about the quality of the 5 minutes that he gave me.
For sure. I know some people I would call not the brightest, but they have a skill.
I'm right here, Brian.
It's right here. But you have a skill, Randy. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Tell my wife.
Think of the white-collar worker who hires a blue-collar tradesman. You're so sure that you, the white-collar worker, are the smartest guy in the room, but that guy's billing you $80 an hour to do something you could do yourself if you went to a 6-week training course. Do you want to spend the 6 weeks? Of course not. Do you want to crawl around in people's attics? No. But it's the old joke about the guy who fixes the power plant or nuclear, whatever, and he bills them $1 million and they don't like it, so they itemize it. And he says, turning the screw 3/4, $8, and knowing which screw to turn, $1 million.
Right.
So it's you pay for the expertise.
That's right.
And again, you cannot pretend that he wasn't working more than full time when the milestones were achieved, because we know he was sleeping on the floor. We know that when he went to Berlin to make sure everything was coming together, that he slept in the conference room. We know that. That was reported contemporaneously. And again, billionaire's bad, Randy. I don't know if you know billionaire's bad, Because what do they do with their money? They just, buy mansions and fleets of cars. How many cars does Elon own?
I don't actually know. I guess he gets to borrow one from some company once in a while.
He doesn't. He paid for his car.
Okay, all right.
Franz paid for his Cybertruck. They all pay for their car, and there is no employee discount. Elon owns one car. It's a Model S. That's it. That's his entire fleet. How many mansions does he own?
Not a single one. He sold all, what was it, 7, 6? I forget how many he had.
I think it was three or four. He grew out of that phase.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not trying to impress anyone, and good thing he's not. Now, mind you, you and I are impressed, but we're impressed by each other. So I don't know if we're very qualified to speak. Yeah. Oh, man. Did I walk into that one or what?
Man, I'll tell you what, man, like a brick wall. Oh, yes.
Magical. There are deeply cynical people who may be cynical for a reason. The economy isn't what it used to be. Opportunities aren't what they used to be. There was a time when you could go to school, get a degree, get a career, and the career would take care of you. That's not been true for 30, 40 years. And a lot of people don't understand that the opportunities that used to exist don't exist anymore. A lot of them are simply gone. Tuition is outrageously expensive. A single medical crisis can wipe out any retirement, no matter how large. Times have changed. But that cynicism shouldn't extend blindly to everyone who has more than you. I've seen people saying 56 billion is the wrong number. Therefore, I support $0. $0? Zero. Yep, he's got enough. You know what? The number is only as large as it is because we had that pay package.
But it's okay to pay $800 million to a sports star.
Well, yes, but you don't understand, Randy. Do you know the difference between a 250 batter and a 300 batter? A batting average of 250 versus 300? How many hits a week is that in increase?
Oh, how much
One.
a week? One.
It's about one hit a week is the
One
difference
hit a
between
week.
250 and 300.
It's
And
probably
somebody
about-
math checked me on that because you've got 6, 7 games. You've got about 4 at bats per game. So you're only talking about 30 at bats.
Yes.
One extra hit is the difference between a $5 million contract and a $500,000 contract. One hit. That's all you need. Yeah.
Well, I was a one-hit wonder.
Let me guess. Water bottles? Because you've been playing that greatest hit for a while.
That's all I got.
Well, I don't know about musically, but you've had quite a few hits. You've created a bunch of companies. You've been a best-selling author across 2 or 3 different industries, topics. So I think you've got more than one hit to your record. But I'm still not going to buy it because...
Nobody's paid me $10 million for that stuff.
Well, that's because your record is in the clearance bin at the dollar store. So I don't know about that. We have some fun, Randy. Guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What did we miss? What did we misunderstand? Let's stick it to him. How are you going to vote? Do you have shares? And for that matter, how many do you have? Tell us. I'm very curious. Actually, maybe don't post the number of shares because then if you're uncomfortable with it, you know how people get when it comes to you having money versus them not having money. But yeah, let us know. And like, subscribe, do the usual things. You know what you got to do. And stay tuned, stay juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots when we punish Elon with all that money.